Okay, level check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, it looks like it's going there, looks like it's going to Facebook, looks like it's going to YouTube. Right, and if you're listening, I guess you're not, but if you are, it's 7:13, and we are talking weather coming up here at 7:15. This is meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. Not too many of these left. This is Tuesday. I've got Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'm a retired man. I'm a former meteorologist. I don't know who those of you that can hear that, or if any of you can hear that. So, okay, so we should be live. I should be live on Facebook by now. So you probably heard some of my comments there. I didn't say anything bad, but okay, yeah, we're there. Let's see. You can hear that, or if any of you can hear that bad, but okay, cool. We're live on Facebook. It's meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer, and everything else is coming up less than a minute, and we will be doing our 7:15 streaming weather show here from the streaming center at Fox 19 now. All right. And for those of you that don't know it, I've only got this 7:15 show and 2 more to do, and then I am retired. So, still 7:14. Let me take a drink of Diet Mountain Dew. Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. It's 7:15 Tuesday evening, and it is now time for the Fox 19 streaming weather show. And let's start off by taking a look at a time lapse. This starts at 5:50 a.m. today, and you can see the sun comes up, beautiful cloud-free sky. As the day heats up, right on cue, the cumulus clouds form. Heading off to the south and east, you see some high, thin cloud cover above that. Overall, just a great-looking day, and there it is as of 7:15. Just a really, really nice-looking evening. Now, that's sun angles makes it look a lot darker than it really is, and there is no rain in the area. So that's our live camera network right there. So the one you just saw is in the upper right. Don't know what happened to the one. It's probably having trouble connecting. Well, let's go ahead and use our tower cam shot here. And what we'll see when we use our tower cam shot, we'll go to the current conditions then. And here we go. We're looking at, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, I muted it so you wouldn't hear me sneeze like that. But 73 degrees right now at the International Airport. That's 73 degrees with a low humidity. Look at that relative humidity, about 34%. Now, as far as dew point goes, let's see. That would translate to, give me just a second and I'll get it for you. So we use dew point more often. Relative humidity is what we used historically. But dew point is a little easier to use for certain forecast purposes. And let's see, that would translate to a dew point of 44 degrees. And so 44 degrees is a really, really comfortable dew point, unlike the mid-70s we saw earlier. Just remember, 10 days ago we were talking about heat index values in the 100s, and now we're looking at the possibility of a record low temperature tomorrow morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in more detail. And again, there you see it. Wherever you're looking, the weather just looks beautiful around the tri-state. Okay, if you happen to be heading on Friday down to Great American Ballpark, it's Fireworks Friday. The St. Louis Cardinals are in town. The Reds, of course, are back in town. Cool and nice. 53 as the game begins. Kind of chilly at the final out, around 51. So it could conceivably drop into the upper 40s as we head on into fireworks time. And then if Riverfest, of course, is this Sunday. We're talking about beginning at around 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 77, up to 80 at 5 p.m. Notice lots of sunshine out there. A few clouds at 8 p.m. and drive home is 73 degrees and really nice. Nice humidity, nice conditions. Ideal to sit along the riverbank and watch those fireworks on Sunday. Okay, so here's what we've got. Wednesday, a cold start. Now, tomorrow morning, or actually, let's start off with this morning, the low temperature was 50 degrees, okay? Tomorrow morning, we've got 48 for the low in the forecast, and the record low temperature tomorrow morning is 50, set back in 1945. So an 80-year-old low temperature record may be broken tomorrow morning, so you may wake up to an historic weather morning. Thursday, pleasant sunshine. Friday, just a tiny chance of a shower. And actually, that shower chance could start late Thursday night, so it'll be late Thursday evening into Friday morning. And we'll look at that on the model run coming up here in just a couple of seconds. But it doesn't look like anything widespread. And don't get your hopes up. Everybody's lawn is dry. Everybody's garden is dry. There's not enough rain coming Thursday night into Friday morning to really make a difference in any one location. So the 10-day chances of rain. Now, if you remember when I was talking about this graph yesterday, I mentioned that there were two chances, Friday, and then there was a chance again on Thursday, the 4th of September. Well, notice how much that's come up since we looked at it yesterday. It's come up from 20% to 60%, and it looks like more moisture beginning to work into the pattern. So each of these days, tomorrow, right on through Wednesday of next week, very little, if any, chance of rainfall. Now, Thursday night into Friday, there's a chance for a few scattered showers, and we'll look at what's causing them and when they could be here. But I would not count on getting enough rain, even if you get some, to make a difference. So you might as well just go ahead and water. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it certainly looks like we are in for essentially dry weather again. And then as a front comes through, more widespread rain is possible on Thursday, the 4th of September. Okay, well, temperature-wise, during that same stretch, you can see the high temperatures do warm up quite a bit. Now, don't let this steep warming trend alarm you. The normal high for these 2 days is 83, so this is only 1 degree warmer than normal. With that warmer weather will come some more humidity, nothing oppressive like we had earlier in the summer. Enough that you'll feel it. It'll be a little bit uncomfortable, but certainly not like what we went through earlier. And so we do have that warming trend coming into the tri-state, and with that, some shower activity. Now, low temperatures this morning, look at all the 40s out there. 48 in Connersville, Batesville, Harrison, Hamilton, and Middletown, both at 45. And the reason Hamilton and Middletown were cooler, they're both in the Great Miami River Valley and what we call cold air drainage. In other words, cold air is more dense than the warmer air right above it, so it hugs the ground and rolls downhill and pools in the river valleys or low spots. And anybody that's ridden a bicycle, ridden a motorcycle, or driven a convertible, or even if you just have the windows in your car open, you're riding along a road and you just go down into dip a little bit after, at or a little bit after sunset. You feel the cooler air down in that dip. That's because the cold air is more dense and it rolls downhill and pools in those low spots. And so that's what happened there with Hamilton and Middletown. They're both right along the Great Miami River in the low spot, and so the cool air drained that way. Wilmington and Hillsborough both in the 40s, Batavio's in the 40s, and definitely looks like we are talking about another morning when it'll be a little bit cooler than that. As a matter of fact, the model we've been using has Connersville falling to 38 tomorrow morning. So if you're around Connersville, if you're around Liberty, Indiana, if you're in the northern part of Franklin County, north of Brookville, you may very well, for a little while tomorrow morning, experience a few chilly moments with temperatures in the upper 30s. But that's this morning's low temperatures, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the high temperatures today. Now, these will be modified as of 8 o'clock when they're reported for the final, but you can see low to mid 70s around the tri-state, pretty much the same almost everywhere. Okay, temperatures now around the tri-state, upper 60s in Connersville, Batesville, VV, Owenton, CVG. Upper 60s in West Union, Hillsborough, and Wilmington, everybody else there in the 70s, and that gives us a good start to get down. 69, we should easily fall 21 degrees between now and sunrise tomorrow. So I think it's a very good chance we'll either tie or break that record low temperature. Remember, the record low is 50. We've got 48 in the forecast. Okay, and so the temperature change over the last 24 hours, really not much. 1 or 2 degrees really isn't that much. So most areas 0 to 1 above or 1 below. But basically, we're just kind of stuck with this pattern as that high pressure system sits right over top of us. Nothing on radar in our neck of the woods, although if you look closely, you see a couple of showers here. We were watching a few showers up this way drift off to the south and east, but nothing for the Fox 19 now viewing area. All right. Let's zoom out and take a look at the water vapor loop again. Now, if you remember when we looked at this yesterday, this dividing line right here was right over top of Cincinnati. Okay, so it is pushed that much farther south. That dividing line is now on the border of Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. So that is where the dividing line is. And this is all pretty dry air here, but this is where it's sinking in behind the jet stream. The north side of the jet stream is where you get kind of sinking air. And so that right there shows that really dry air just north of the jet stream. So if we put the jet stream on it, it looks like this. Okay, and so we're going to continue to get our stuff out of the north and west. It's coming out of Canada, so it doesn't have a lot of moisture, doesn't have a lot of energy, and so we don't have any really big rain in the forecast for a while. And as I mentioned, even though we do have that chance Thursday night into Friday, I would not bet on getting enough to alleviate the dry conditions. You might as well just go ahead and water if that's what you were going to do anyway. All right, high temperatures in the region today, really not that much different. Notice it was 78 down in Evansville, but really there's no big, when we looked at this a couple weeks ago, as that hot air was coming our way, I mean, it was like in the 90s in Evansville while it was in the 80s here, but we don't see anything like that. And low temperatures today, and those locations, you can see everybody on the cool side. There's just no warm air in the region anymore. Okay, now here's the model run, and what we're going to do, we're going to watch what's going on. So right now, you see this large area right here without much going on. That's the big high pressure system that is dominating our weather. Up here with this cloud cover, you'll see more of it when we put this into motion, is another front that is coming our way. So let's go ahead, give it full screen again and put it into motion. Okay, stopping at 7 a.m. tomorrow. The high pressure system's right over top of us. Winds are calm, skies are clear. There's just no reason we shouldn't break that record low temperature. A few clouds do work their way our way during the day Wednesday into Thursday morning, but Thursday, really not much going on. But take a look right up here. This is another little front that's coming southward, and that will bring us that chance of showers during the day on Thursday night into Friday morning. So let's go back into motion. We stop the clock right here at 7 a.m. on Friday. Now, the name Cincinnati is right in the way here, but you can see the line of just hit and miss showers right through here, okay? So and this is 7 a.m. Friday. There it is right there. So Thursday night into Friday morning, a chance of a few showers. And you may have noticed how that wide band of showers just became thinner and thinner and began to dissipate as they headed southward overnight. That's that time of day thing. When you lose that energy of the daytime sunshine, the showers tend to settle down unless you're powered by something else. And in this case, they lost a lot of energy. So let's go put it back into motion here. And you can see that a little band of showers may flare back up before noontime in our southern counties, and then that's it. Okay, you may see a few showers, especially south of the city during the day on Friday, but overall we're dry then for the weekend. There's Saturday, here's Sunday, here's Labor Day, and there's just no rain coming our way, and it's going to continue on the warm, pleasant side right on through the holiday. Okay, then this is as far as this model run goes to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and you can see out to the west a lot of activity. This is a pretty strong front. It's going to come our way and bring the chance of widespread shower activity during Thursday of next week. That's the 4th of September. So the next chance, and I don't think we're going to see severe thunderstorms. There's just not enough moisture ahead of this for that to be, I think, just some shower activity, maybe a clap of thunder. But not a real big deal on the 4th of September. All right, so your evening planner looks like this. If you're about to head out the door, we've got temperatures of 69 at 7 p.m. It's 68 now, so we're off by 1, but it's close. 11 p.m., 59 and 56 at 1. Then overnight, down to 48 degrees. Remember, the record low tomorrow morning is 50, set back in 1945. So, and that's just as World War II is coming to an end. And so tomorrow morning, if we hit 48, that'll break the record by 2 degrees. And just think of the contrast in this part of the world. 10 days ago, we had heat index values of over 100 degrees. Now we're looking at the possibility of record low temperatures. Okay? Forecast for tomorrow looks like 75 for the high temperature. And if you break that down into a little bit more detailed timeline, 48 at 8 a.m., 50 at 9, up to 65 by 12 p.m. The Climate Prediction Center is saying in the 6 to 10 day outlook that goes out to September 5th, cooler than normal in the entire Fox 19 Now viewing area. Second half of their forecast, cooler than normal out through the 9th. And then as we look at the 3 to 4 week outlook, goes out to the 20th of September, we go back to warmer than normal. This is the graphic that will be updated on Friday. All right, precipitation-wise, we've got near normal precipitation. A little bit above near normal precipitation through the 9th of September, and then a little bit wetter than that as we head toward the 20th. And so I think the takeaway from all this, and of course, last summer's on everybody's mind, and at this time we were in the 90s, it was tinder dry. The takeaway from this is we're not going to see a heat wave like we had. We're going to get warmer, but we're not going to see a heat wave like we had last summer at this time, and we're not going to see an extended drought. Even though it's very dry now, we've had some fairly dry weather, we do have a better likelihood of some rain coming our way, so it does not look like an extended drought in the forecast. So this is not a repeat of last year. So here's your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, some filtered sunshine. That's high 75 after that morning low in the upper 40s. 55 and 78 Thursday with the slim chance of a shower. On Friday, slim chance of a shower and 76. And remember, that's Thursday night into Friday morning. So the slim chance of a shower is, and it says PM there, but based on downtown Cincinnati, for those of you heading down to the Great American Ballpark, and during the afternoon, those showers mainly south of the city in the southern part of our viewing area, let's say from Owen over to Lewis counties. Okay, so it looks like great weather for baseball with clearing skies or clear skies and dry weather. Mix of sun and clouds on Saturday. FC Cincinnati plays at TQL Stadium. Looks like a great day for that. Starting to warm again on Sunday with high temperatures in the low 80s Monday and Tuesday. Monday, of course, is Labor Day with that slim chance of a shower. We can turn this into a 10-day forecast by adding the last 3 days. There's 82 on Wednesday. September 4th is at 84. That's the day with that 60% chance of rain. So we do have showers and thunderstorms in the forecast then, and Friday, the high temperature 79. Now, if we look at it over the next 14 days, you can see that we have a warming trend both on the high temperature and low temperature graphs. We make it back up to just about normal. So we go from below normal, and we just kind of flirt with normal on the high side. We do go to above normal on the low side. So when we're heading out to the 9th of September, we're looking at weather that's a little bit warmer than normal on the average, although nothing extreme either way. Okay, let me take a look here at what our Facebook fans are saying. Susan Wally says, what a gorgeous day. I know, it was almost too nice to come into work. And when I came in, I told Brad Malsart, I said, boy, this would be a nice day to be retired. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Susan. Only 2 more days after today. 2 more days, Wednesday and Thursday. And then I'm not gone. I'm still living here in Cincinnati, not moving anywhere. And because we at Fox 19 do so many hours of news, we do 13 and a half hours of news a day. When somebody goes on vacation, that means people have to work either a lot of overtime or we bring in some help. The help most of the time in the past year and a half has been Jeff Creighton, and I'll be available around Christmas time to help out. So I've agreed to help the station out with whatever I can do, but I need a few months off first. So you'll see me. I'll still be around. Don't worry. All right, let's see what else we have here. Bev Farrell Anderson says, hey, it was a beautiful day. David Piat says, hello from Hillsborough. I will be missed. Thank you very much. My wife's not so sure about that because for my entire adult life, my wife and I have had opposite schedules. For the first part of our marriage, I worked early mornings, and so I got to work at 2:30 and got off at 9 a.m. The second half of our marriage so far, I've been working in the evenings, and so she's used to doing whatever she wants during the evenings, and now I'm going to be around. So I said, oh, honey, this will be fun, and she just gave me the dirty eyeball, the hairy eyeball, as we call it, kiddingly. Okay, so Melvin Stone Street says, thanks for what I've done. Thank you very much. You know what? And I think a lot of people on TV look at this the wrong way. They say, oh, people watch me because I was the best. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it was an honor for you to watch me. Okay. In other words, the fact that you watched me and you relied on what I said for weather information is an honor. That means I earned your trust, and that's the most important thing. And we all know that not every forecast works out. It's not going to be that way probably forever. But I can guarantee you that not a single time did I go on the air without proper preparations and was giving you the latest and the best information possible around the tri-state. So that's one of the things that most people on TV think, but I like to say it was my honor to serve you and provide you with the information you needed. Mark Rogers says, congrats on your retirement. Beth Farrell Anderson says, we're going to miss you. Lisa Sperling says the same thing. My gosh. And then Andrea Salesman, what kind of winter do you think we'll have? Okay. I think the weather services, everybody's kind of like leery about this one, because last year they kept saying La Nina, La Nina, La Nina, and then we got blasted in January. And if you remember, when I was giving my winter forecast last year, I said, okay, La Nina, La Nina, La Nina means a mild winter without a lot of snow, without a lot of cold. However, if the La Nina fails to develop, we're going to get blasted. Well, everybody kept hanging on to, oh my gosh, La Nina, La Nina, and it just wasn't happening. And so we got blasted. This year, it looks like it's going to try and form a brief La Nina, but go back to kind of near neutral conditions, as they call it. And near neutral conditions would give you kind of a normal winter with several snow events, not necessarily massive snow events, but several snow events that melt rapidly. Maybe a few days where the temperature is quite cold, but no really big, long, extended period of cold. And so it's really a little bit too early, but I think with what's going on, we're probably going to see a pretty active winter, but not necessarily a brutal or really snowy winter. And that at this point is an educated guess, and I'd have to modify that as we get closer and closer. Okay, that's all the comments. I would thank you once again for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll say goodbye to everybody for real on Thursday. And again, thanks for watching. I hope you got some useful information. And we are talking about the nice weather continuing right on through Riverfest weekend. So if you're going to the Reds game Friday for Fireworks Friday, if you're going to TQL Stadium for FC Cincinnati, the weather looks great. It looks great for the fireworks down at Riverfest. And one last thing, if you're not doing any of those things, the weather looks great just to be outside and do whatever you want. Thanks for joining me. Have yourself a nice evening.